Take two. Let's see what you got.
Let's go launch him. Send it, bro.
Yes, I said it, bro. I just come running in.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun to kind of be, as Dad says, in his arena.
Should be a fun week. Even starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
being out here and doing all the things Dad does.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time. It's great to do it here in Omaha.
Yeah.
A lot of people that follow golf here in Omaha and Elkhorn are familiar with Scott Gutschewski, and they followed him, whether they have followed him on the leaderboard when he's been on the PGA Tour, or they've come out and followed him at Indian Creek. Scott has played in our event for a few years, and he's earned his PGA Tour card off and on, and he's always been so supportive, whether that's doing like a veteran clinic for us during tournament week or just having the crowds come out. Everyone's supported Gutschewski's. So we're excited to have a little Gooch that's out there. And, it's so different now from when the event started 8 years ago and the kids would be out here maybe caddying with him a little bit to now they're actually competing.
I don't know. I just started playing golf because it's kind of what our dad did. I don't think we were ever forced to go or do anything like that, but it was kind of just for fun. I think we did it because we liked it, and our dad obviously did it at a pretty high level. It was just something fun to do. I think we still play other sports. I don't think golf was ever like forced upon us or really our main sport at all, but we just did it because we were good at it and we had fun with it.
I don't know that it's in their blood. I don't know that anybody gets to be as good as they are at anything without working really, really hard at it. But they grew up watching good golf, so I think to some degree, I think they just thought that's how a lot of people played golf. I mean, they played with their grandparents, so they did see some bad golf, but yeah, I think to some degree, they just kind of thought that's how it is.
I think I just physically timed out of every other sport.
I know.
I got to high school and I had to start lifting weights for everything else, and I was like, I have a lot more fun putting and chipping than waking up at 6 a.m. to go lift.
Yeah, I remember baseball, and I got scared because kids were throwing it too quick.
Or when kids started throwing curveballs.
Yeah, then got dunked on in basketball in 8th grade and figured that wasn't for me either.
And I mean, we always let them figure things out by themselves, but I also made sure that they weren't way off track on stuff and kind of kept them on a good heading, I guess. Keep it short and sweet a little bit, let them have fun, let them do what they want out there. Just kind of associate golf with fun. And I got some goofy looks for it over the years. I remember one of the first little junior tournaments Luke played in Texas, the kids hit the shots and I said, okay, let's race up the hill. And we all ran up the hill. And the other parents looked at me like I was nuts. But we were just having fun. I mean, they were 7 years old, 6 years old or whatever, super young.
I thought maybe I had a chance to be a middle school basketball coach. I had a pretty successful 8th grade year, or my senior year of high school, but.
And just blew your rotator cuff.
Yeah, I got injured doing that, so I had to stay away from coaching for some time.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Well, not really. It just happened to me.
He never gets tired of playing golf. Like, you may get worn out, but he'll come home and he'll still, hit putts up on the putting mat or tinker in the garage. Like, he loves golf. Like, it is his passion. I think the boys are the same way. Like, they'll say they need a day off, and then at noon they'll be like, hey, I'm just gonna chip and putt though. I'm not gonna play. Like, that's to them like taking it easy. Yeah. But they love it. They love to practice. They love being at the golf course. They love, they watch golf on TV all day long. Like, they have that passion, that just desire to be great. And I think that they just are trying to beat their dad still. Like,
It's a semi-healthy addiction, I guess.
I haven't had a moment with golf where I've been told I'm not good enough yet, so I'll keep playing. I think a lot of competing in high-level events, a lot of it is, you can't do that if you want to compete in a high-level event. I think a lot of it's just self-belief and knowing that you're good enough. I think a lot of people get psyched out, especially on the golf course. Doing the same thing every day can usually help you out.
Yeah, just keeping it simple.
I couldn't have told you, who the top 10 kids are in junior golf or golf prior to high school in the state of Nebraska. So even when Luke came in, he was well regarded. And, obviously with golf, it's about the score. After a couple weeks, I know that Luke had talked to his dad about when he was going to be number one. When is going to coach put me as the number one player? And one of those things that happened was, I just told him, just bide your time. It's one of those things that if you're going to make a change and make Luke the number one player in your team, you just want to make sure that the junior or senior knows that Luke should be number one too.
You got to be kind of a grinder, I guess, is a good word for it. We are going to be the underdogs at all times, I feel like, there. So you really got to earn everything there. He comes in, I'm playing the number one, he's playing the number two. He keeps beating me every time. I'm a senior that's a little mad about it, but he just keeps on beating me. You kind of see the grind. He just earns his spot over me. It just shows he has what it takes to do this thing,
By about the third week, he was the number one player, and he was the number one player until he graduated, holding the state championship from 2019 to 2021.
I have been very fortunate in the positions I've had to see some of those players that are special, that you'll hear the word different, or they have the it. The first thing that after I got to know Trevor is his determination, his work ethic, his tireless pursuit. That's the it factor to me. He was leading last week the state am after the first day, and after the second day he was tied. He went home and he had 104 fever almost. That's how tough he is. Like, there's no stopping him. I've seen him take off his golf shoe and have it completely full of blood because he had to have an ingrown toenail. It was 104 degrees in Texas. Walked 18 holes, never said a word to me. He's in control of his fate. He knows that. The number is the number. And I think that's something, obviously, that's been ingrained in him and learned. And it's just impressive. He's one of the most gifted athletes I've ever been around.
Trevor,
just had a really big milestone a couple days ago, actually. He was the first Nebraskan since 1937, if I'm right, to win the U.S. Junior Amateur.
I don't know if it's even fully sunken in yet what he just accomplished. I mean, you know, we went there with just, let's have some fun, let's make it to the match play. Oh, let's win another match. Oh, we won another match. You know, I mean, it's such a long week.
At what point did you beat anybody where you thought, oh, I beat this kid, so now I have to win?
No,
No?
No,
You never thought that?
I never thought that. I was just kind of trying to keep it one match at a time, you know.
You never thought that, gosh, if I, like,
I mean, no,
you never thought, like,
never
wow, I
thought
beat
if
the one
beat some-
seed. Now I have a target on my back. Now I have to win or anything?
No, not really.
No.
I was just trying to get through everybody.
You know, going into match play, we didn't really know what to expect because neither of us had really been there before in that stage. So, I mean, we just kind of just tried to have fun and just focus on the golf. And then once we kind of started going and the narrative came around like of his ranking, we kind of thought it was like pretty funny because I think everyone that knows Trevor and knows his game, his game's a lot better than 3,500th in the world for amateurs. So we kind of thought of it as a joke and kind of just played with it a little and ended up taking the trophy home, and it was really cool. Just, I think he's always had the game to kind of compete with anyone, but I think this just kind of instills in his confidence that he can really compete with anyone. And he's got a lot of big tournaments ahead of him. This was just one of them, and he's going to be able to show off his game in the U.S. Open next year. And yeah, I mean, once it was all said and done, I just was really happy for him and could see how excited he was for the opportunity. So yeah.
He was super solid and he just played good golf, and you know, his buddy Jackson was on the bag for him and they talked through every shot, make good decisions, and I mean, it was just amazing. It was amazing to watch, and there's a lot of really good golfers here in Nebraska, and I think maybe people will take notice a little bit now because, you know, someone who's been playing here just went out and did it on the big stage.
So Luke obviously had a stellar career so far at Iowa State. What kind of advice would you give to a young buck like me who's going to college soon?
Well, I would say don't let anything change what you're doing. You start lifting a lot more. You have to go to class. You start traveling a lot more. There's a lot of things like that you have to do.
So it's interesting, as a freshman, he didn't make our lineup for our very first tournament of the fall. And after that, he made the lineup for every tournament. So I thought that was a pretty good accomplishment as a freshman to come in and be able to assert yourself in that top five. And I think he learned a lot that year, figuring out how to be a college golfer, how to be a student athlete here at Iowa State. And from there, he really started to take off in his second and third year.
You know, your graduating class is roughly 60 players, 60 people. You know, you don't know if you're good enough to play for Iowa State, I feel like. I feel like I would have had that. I feel like he kind of had that. And then he just goes out his freshman year and just proves that he's good enough to play in the top five.
There's quite a few things I'm pretty proud of. I think in the unserious category, I've won my fantasy football league 2 years in a row at Iowa State. But on the more serious note, I've won a couple times. Qualified for regionals the last couple years, which has been awesome. But I think I'm pretty proud of the fact I think the program's in a better place. Well, now, but hopefully in a year than where it was when I got there when I was a freshman.
I think the most important thing in their development as golfers is to find a place where they can continue to improve. So I think Luke found a great spot there in Ames with a great facility and some really good coaches that have helped him continue to improve.
I think it was really great for Luke to be exposed to high-level golf at such a young age. I think he was just a sponge as a kid growing up, watching his dad, being around good players. And I think that really fueled his passion for the game. And I can see, you know, how advanced his golf IQ is because of that. Even looking back as a freshman, he just understood what it takes to be good.
But yeah, I think of those on-course achievements, I think winning is always the goal when you play. So it's nice to say I've won a few times.
So humble.
I was humble. I can get into the fact that I won by 8 and by 4 the 2 times I won if you want me to.
Go for it.
but nobody's here for that.
You know, I mean, they both are going to have great college careers. They're going to get their degrees and, you know, turn pro, I think is both of their goals. And, you know, I think both of them had the attitude like college is a stepping stone, not like, great, I got to college, now, you know, I've accomplished, I've got a scholarship, now I'm done. They both just want to get better and better and better and, you know, get to the tour. I mean, that's their goal.
I think day in and day out, being around guys that also want to get better and, you know, for their future professional careers, I think it's important to just keep doing what you're doing and get better with the competition. I think that's the most important thing. I think being around guys like that every day is going to be, it can be really good for you.
Thanks.
You betcha, kid.
I'm gonna take that to heart.
We've been to this tournament plenty of times and never really sniffed playing in it.
Yeah.
Till this year. So it'll be fun change for us.
Qualifying was at Beatrice Country Club, small field. He didn't have too high of expectations kind of going into it, but he was talking to me on the way there of changing like his mindset on how he's going to approach the qualifying, and basically he wanted to create his own luck is the words he used.
You know, when you qualify, he said, you know, you just never know. It's a very short amount of holes. Golfers can get on a little bit of a run, and Luke was on a two rounds, 18 holes each. He got on a little bit of a run.
It was pretty funny. It's a 36-hole qualifier, and he makes eagle on the 27th hole, and then hits it down the middle on the 28th hole, and holes out for eagle from the middle of the fairway. He kind of looks at me, gives me his club, and he goes, "You want to caddy at the Corn Ferry?" And I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a fun gig to me. I'm in."
Luke's pretty tough to beat down at Beatrice. He has some pretty good stuff down there. So is, I mean, Trevor is too, for that part. But like one of the first things, I mean, Luke was obviously excited, super excited. One of the first things he said to me when we got home, he's like, "Trevor's gonna be playing too. He's gonna win Indian Creek."
Yeah, I mean, I came into Indian Creek knowing you were already in this tournament, and there's nothing more I wanted than to be in it too. And, you know, played fine the first day. I was 2 back, and then just had a real solid day.
Yeah, just came out ready to kill.
I got done with my round just a little bit before he did. So I got done and I kind of looked at the leaderboard and saw that he was like leading and had a chance. So I kind of went out and watched his last few holes, and you know, he made a birdie on the 17th hole, and that's when I kind of knew like he was gonna win. And I was obviously like kind of in shock like that he actually was gonna be playing in this event, and just how cool it is that just a buddy of mine that I've played hundreds of rounds this year alone with him like is gonna be playing in a professional golf event. It was just kind of insane to think about.
Scott shed a few tears, and I mean, it's just.
That's not that uncommon.
Obviously, it was great coming off that green, seeing all you guys after you weren't there all day. But
well, we had a pool party. We had a birthday party.
It's unbelievable that if you look at Scott's career, what this tournament means to the Gutschewskis, you know, it kind of pole vaulted him, and to have a card for 20 years. Those boys were out here when they were little. So for Luke to qualify, and then for Trevor to back it up and earn his spot is incredible.
I caddied for him in the U.S. Junior, and so it was kind of just second nature for us, like just might as well just caddy again in the Corn Ferry, just keep it going. And kind of right away I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, might as well." And I was pretty excited because, I mean, inside the ropes at a professional golf event is pretty cool.
I think he knows what I do good and what I do bad, so keeps me level-headed on the golf course, keeps me making good decisions and stuff, which honestly, we're probably closer than you and John, so we're probably a better combo.
Yeah, I mean, John's caddied for me quite a bit the last couple of years. I think we I think we've proven it time and time again. I mean, the last time we played, I guess Jackson was in your caddy. I guess we'll find out this week.
I mean, me and Jackson are kind of like milk and cereal.
I don't like milk in my cereal.
I think it'll be kind of fun, just kind of like seeing, you know, John and Luke out here and kind of having some fun, like little banter with them. But I'd like to see Luke play well, and I'd like to see Trevor play well, and so I think there's support no matter what.
It's a big deal for him. Professional debut. I think he's been looking forward to this for a long, long time.
We've got our crowd waves down.
Yeah,
you know,
we got a couple.
he's got the hat tip. I have the thumbs up. I think we have that nailed.
You know, even talking to Luke after he qualified, you know, I think he called it his major. Like this tournament means so much to him, and I know he's going to take a lot from it, and also just have a ton of people rooting for him and cheering for him, and I'll be one of those people.
I think the first step for me is trying to help Trevor enjoy it. Just having a good time is going to help him more than I think like really trying to break anything down, because he's played this course enough, obviously, that he knows the ins and outs of this place. So just enjoy the week and see what that brings.
I don't really feel like I'm going to be nervous, though.
No, I don't think I really will be either.
It's more like excited.
Excited's probably better. Anxious, excited. I mean, if you're not excited to play in a professional event, you probably shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be playing.
Probably shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, I'm still up in the air as to whether or not I'll be there. I'm trying to decide. It's a tough decision. I don't really have a decision whether I can play or not. The decision for me is whether I'm going to be here or in North Carolina. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a great experience for him.
Luke, you probably had the longest time knowing that you're going to play in this event of the three of you. How much has the mentality or excitement for this week changed?
Well, it's changed three times now. When I got in, I was like, I'll be the only one playing. It'll be weird, but it'll be fun. Then Trevor got in. I was like, oh, that'll be fun to play with my brother. And then he got in yesterday, and I was like, oh, that'll be fun. Now that we're playing together, I think that changed the excitement again. I think it'll be really fun. It'll be awesome.
I guess a couple years ago, I kind of started thinking out into the future, thinking how long would I last and how long, until they could get there. Different emotions for all of us, right? Like, obviously different for me than them, being their first event and everything. I don't know, it's pretty unique, pretty special.
I think Mom's pretty excited considering she's the one that texted us our tee time. I mean, probably I'd assume pretty quickly after they came out, she screenshot it and sent it to all of us.
Yeah, I think she's,
I don't know why she
she's
wouldn't
thrilled.
be.
Yeah, I mean, she'd be out there trying to follow all of us anyways, and this definitely make it a little easier.
Our house was just kind of status quo this morning, just everybody has their own routine and went out the door at their own time. And I think they're more focused on not beating each other, just playing well and kind of one shot at a time sort of mentality. But they've been having some funny exchanges, like kind of giving Dad a hard time. So that's fun. I mean, but for the most part, it's just been kind of fun and, tournament as usual week, sort of.
I don't think there's going to be any super hard competition between us. If if Trevor shoots 7 under and we both shoot 6 under, that doesn't mean we lost, right? That's still good. Good golf is good golf.
We obviously want to beat each other, but we're just out there having fun.
It's not too serious. Like, we were playing last weekend. Luke and I were giving Trevor a hard time. He's been playing so much match play. We're like, oh, you got to putt those. We're playing stroke play. Like, you got to putt that 4-footer.
I think it's just a really cool story, and I think they're all gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna be fun to watch. And just kind of embrace all the things that come with it, the nerves, the excitement, the pressure. That's just all part of it, and go out and really make some memories.
I mean, I think the story's been out there for a long time now. I can just see it already out here. People are coming to watch, and you know, everybody I talk to has been waiting for this group to tee off here. That support should mean a lot to those guys.
Good morning and welcome to the 2024 Pinnacle Bank Championship presented by Woodhouse here at the club at Indian Creek. Please welcome to the tee from Omaha, Nebraska, Scott Gutschewski. Gutschewski. Trevor Gutschewski.
As soon as they hit their first shot or two, they'll probably settle in and just play golf. And, you know, golf is, you know, it's your score out there. So I think for the most part, it's just, you know, one shot at a time, just play golf like they've done since they were 5 years old. And I think they'll be fine. One
thing I've learned, like being on tour and watching these guys play at the different levels they play at, whether it's a college event for Luke or the high school event for Trevor or the U.S. Junior or a state am, like good golf is good golf. Now, you know, we don't have all this stuff here at the state am or the high school tournament, but the hole's the same size. Pins might be a little different spots, but good golf is good golf. Everything around you might change, but when you can get comfortable or block out or whatever the key it is that you need to do to make all the surroundings not matter, like then the good golf comes through.
I mean, from a professional standpoint and in regards to the tournament, it's fabulous, right? We have community interest. We've talked about it a lot, like, you know, to make this a community event, that's a goal that is something that's very important to us. And to have something like that, an experience like that kind of fall in our lap is really awesome. And everybody earned their way in. Nobody was gifted anything.
You know, the boys are just like rising to the occasion and excited for the event. And Scott's probably gonna be going through his emotions a little bit. He's had a hard week kind of dealing with just how much it means to him. I think to see them get a play in an event,
something that was super special. I don't know that it'll get repeated again. I think I heard that it had happened one other time, Jack Nicklaus and his sons, and other than that, this is the only other situation where a father and two sons have played together. So something that is relatively historic has happened here at this event, and what a really cool thing to have, you know, associated with the tournament.
The Jack situation, he had two sons in the same tournament, and 4 overall, but 2 were playing as amateur partners in a pro-am. So this is, as far as I can ascertain, the first time the tour has had a threesome of just family members, you know, direct father-son.
You know, I know they both want to play well and all that stuff, but, you know, whether they play well or not, whether I play well or not, it's not going to change much. I mean, we're both, well, all 3 of us are going to, you know, go back to the grind on Monday or Tuesday. You know, it's just going back to the rock pile and working. I mean, that's whether they, you know, whether one of us wins or whether we all finish in a 3-way tie for last place.
I don't know if we've ever had 150 people there on a Thursday morning on the 10th tee box. So that was really unique, and had, you know, just seeing everyone walk down the 10th hole and follow everyone as they were going.
Deep down, each of them certainly wanted to come out on top today, and Scott, by rolling one in from off the green on the last hole to tie Trevor, you know, Trevor was probably, oh geez, Dad, you did it to me again.
They got pretty real really quickly when I hit under a tree on the first hole and I had to call an official. So I guess I kind of got snapped into reality pretty quick. But then after that, I think it was a lot of fun to play out there in front of, you know, a nice hometown crowd and, you know, be able to experience that.
Especially after coming out here all these years and watching my dad play and caddying for him. It's really cool to play and be on the other side of it.
Isaiah kind of filled in and off and on, carrying the scoreboard, and Isabel, my daughter, announced us on the first tee. Yeah, it was fun.
Does that choke you up a little bit at all? Or?
I mean, I'm like the easiest guy to choke up, Stu, so that's not, I don't watch like Hallmark movies because I cry.
In golf, right, it's one shot at a time. And I think that Scott has certainly imparted a lot of that, you know, discipline and a lot of that patience and a lot of that understanding. And these are kids that have lived it. They've lived it, you know, outside the ropes with their dad, and now having them inside the ropes, it's a sport of a lifetime, right? And we'll continue to sort of see that over the coming, you know, again, days, weeks, you know, years. This is just the start of something really unique and cool. And, you know, I think we're going to look back on it as being just a really, you know, special moment, not just for the family, but I think in golf. These players, these journeys, it's hard week in and week out. The lives that they have, the goals that they've set for themselves in terms of achieving that dream of playing on the PGA Tour, the sacrifice, right? Watching sort of, literally sort of the, everything we embody, and we talk about our tour as a family, and to see that realized, it was really beautiful.
Just like Luke and Trevor, just being how young they are, just always been motivated to be in this stage and at this moment. Kind of crazy just to see them all doing this, and how big of a moment it is for like the state, and especially for the state of Nebraska golf.
I don't know if I've ever really seen two brothers that are this young play in a professional tournament together. I think it's really cool that he's following in his dad's footsteps along with Trevor, and I think their dad has really given him a great blueprint on how to be a professional golfer, you know.
To have people come out and support you, watching you do what you love is, there's so many words that you can use to describe it, and I can't think of any of them. It's priceless, it's awesome, it's humbling.
To see a father get to play with his children like that, and to see a mother get to watch her sons and her husband play, you know, it's really special on kind of a personal level too, with 3 kids of my own, and you know, it'd be really fun to be able to experience something like that myself down the road.
Golf will crush your soul. You're not going to play great every round. He knows that. But he also knows what it takes to keep going. So the fact that he's in this tournament as a 17-year-old with his brother, and what this tournament means to the family, I mean, what a special event.
Wish me and Luke play better, but it is what it is. It's a hard golf course, and you know, you kind of got to take what it gives you. But obviously it was really cool, and it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to get out and play with my dad out of here while he still is here.
You know, it's kind of hard to put it into context or even put it into words. But gosh, I mean, it was just a blast this whole week. Being able to do it together was, you know, I'll remember these last 2 days for my whole life.
I constantly find myself during this tournament week having a hard time describing the feelings I have. Yeah, just people coming out to watch you do what you love and compete. It's humbling. It's really neat.
We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. I think it shows how much people of Omaha support and want other people from Omaha to do well.
Scott is an incredible professional. He set an incredible example, and he takes so much pride, he cares, and I'm sure this is kind of exceeds anything he could have ever wished for.
With time, I think they'll understand how cool it was and understand how good they are and how close they are and how fine the margins are out here. And know that, you know, it's a grind, it's a battle, and you know, neither of them had their best game, but they both fought hard, understanding that they're really close, really close.
For Trevor, gosh, it was fun to watch. You hit the ball, and especially on Thursday, the way you composed yourself was awesome. And I'll never forget being able to make my pro debut with you. It was really special.
Hopefully I don't have to yell 4 too often. Hopefully he's hitting it right down the middle. We'll have some fun out there.
Yeah, I coached Trevor's 8th grade basketball team with a couple of my buddies, and we were actually really good. We were a good team. Coached well, we played hard. Me and 2 of my buddies were trying to play 3-on-3 against a couple of 8th graders, and just looking at my shoulder and tore my labrum. So that was tough. I almost missed my entire senior year of golf because of that. I just tried to let my players know how they should be playing on the court.
Are you writing me off? Are you saying I'm wall washed up, Logan?
You know, my wife started calling him TQ for a while because Luke would win stuff and Trevor would quit. So
Luke would make up rules. When he was about to lose, he'd make up rules. Obviously, that'd make me mad, so I would quit, and I don't see a problem with that.
Doing great, guys. Finish strong.
This whole thing with the entire family, Scott, Luke, Trevor, Amy, and everyone else, this whole thing has been just plain cool.
This benefits all the golfers in Nebraska. Junior golfers are getting recognized on other places because of what you're doing. And to see it done the right way, humbly, family-centered, it's just very special. Well done, gentlemen.
Good work, Trev. Good work, boys.
Good job, boys!